would you have the courage to abandon everything just because God asked? In a land called Ur of the Chaldeans lived an ordinary man. His name was Abraham. He had family, a home, security, a life built. But one day, God spoke to him. It wasn't a small request. It wasn't advice. It was an order that would change his story forever. Leave your country, your people, and your father's household and go to the land I will show you, without a map, without visible guarantees, without knowing the destination. Abraham decided to trust. He left everything behind and set off towards the unknown, guided only by the divine promise. His journey took him to the land of Canaan, where God promised to make him a great nation. But there was an impossible detail. Abraham and his wife, Sarah, were elderly and had no children. How could a nation be born from a barren couple? Time passed, years accumulated. The promise seemed distant. Even so, Abraham continued to believe. And then, when humanly speaking there was no hope left, the miracle happened. Sarah gave birth to Isaac, the son of the promise, the living proof that God fulfills what he promises. But Abraham's faith would still be tested in an unimaginable way. One day, God asked for something that seemed unthinkable. Offer your son Isaac as a sacrifice. The same son awaited for decades. The miracle, the fulfillment of the promise. Imagine the conflict in a father's heart. Even so, Abraham climbed the mountain in obedience. Tradition indicates it was in the region of Jerusalem. On Mount Moriah, Isaac carried the wood. Abraham carried the promise and the pain. When all seemed lost, when the knife was about to fall, God interrupted him. Now I know that you fear God. A lamb was provided for the sacrifice. At that moment, Abraham proved that his faith was not in the circumstances, but in God. Because of this unwavering trust, he became known as the father of faith, the first patriarch of the people who would later form the nation of Israel. His story is recorded in the book of Genesis and echoes to this day as an example of absolute trust. Abraham teaches us that faith is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to trust even when everything seems impossible. It is continuing to walk when you don't see the end. It is believing when logic says to give up. Perhaps God is asking something of you today. Perhaps it is to step out of your comfort zone. Perhaps it is to trust amidst uncertainty. Remember Abraham? The man who left everything and received far more than he could have imagined. Because when faith takes the first step, God reveals the next one. Praise be to God. Amen.